Ricans 100% American. You might not guess it by looking at me, but I'm Puerto Rican. Today I want to tell you guys about a part of the United States most people don't understand, Puerto Rico. To get a clear idea about what Puerto Rico is today, we must go back all the way to the beginning. According to the anthropologists, about 4,000 years ago, tribes that originated in the Amazon migrated to the north, populating areas of the Caribbean. The Arawak settled into the Caribbean islands, what we know of Puerto Rico, they called Borican. The people of the island called themselves Boricua. Everyone knows that in the 1492 Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He had 3 ships and about 60 men with him. What people often forget is that was the first of many voyages. The next year, in 1493, Columbus sailed back to the Caribbean with 16 ships and over 1,000 men. This was also the voyage he found Puerto Rico. The natives that met with Columbus's men were very friendly and telling the Spaniards that they were Taino. The word Taino means good person in their language. Columbus said to the Queen in a letter, "They are very gentle and have no knowledge of evil. They do not murder or steal. Your Highness may believe that in all of the world there can be no better people." At first, the natives had a good relationship with the Europeans, but some of the Spanish started dealing harshly, particularly to the women. They rose against the Spanish and ended up in near slavery. During that time, smallpox was introduced and killed 80% of the natives. There were many of the Boricua that fled into the mountains and jungles to escape the Spanish and preserve their culture. Puerto Ricans was the ultimate and original melting pot. Spain made it illegal to use the natives as slaves, so they started importing African slaves. Over the next 200 years was invaded by pirates, the British, the Dutch, pretty much everyone. Each invasion, people remained on the island and melted with the natives. You might wonder why so many people were interested in Puerto Rico. It's the same reason that the United States became interested in 1898. Puerto Rico has military strategic value as they had control of the entrance of the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico. The USA tried to buy Puerto Rico and Cuba for $160 million, but the deal fell through, leading to the Spanish and American War. At the end of the war, the United States gained control of Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines. Puerto Ricans had their hopes on having independence and were not happy to become a colony to the United States. In 1917, the Jones Act was signed between the U.S. and the governor of Puerto Rico. It created a permanent military alliance and granted citizenship to any Puerto Rican after 1898. It was supposed to allow Puerto Rico to remain somewhat independent. That means that Puerto Ricans born in the past 123 years are 100% American.